Well, ladies and gentlemen, the ringmaster, Mr. James Angus, makes his way out into the arena. The ringmaster's pacifier firmly held in his right hand, and he is being accompanied on the arena with our green coats, Mr. Bob Drew, Mr. Scott Jones-Ryan, Mr. Cliff Parker, Mr. Ben Collette, Mr. Stephen Myhill, Mr. Mike Rowland, Mr. Stephen Wells, Mr. Tom Steiger, and over the Vincent Fairfax stand, the President of the Royal Agricultural Society, Mr. Michael Milner, will accept the salute to signify the commencement of the third and final Grand Parade of the Sydney Royal Easter Show for 2022. Today, Mr. James Angus rides the beautiful horse Brownie, an Australian stock horse gelding. A big thank you to James Smith from Scone for providing his lovely, impressive Destiny stock horse bred gelding. Well, the signal has been given, the parade commences, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the broadcast box today Mr. Councillor Rob Zammit, Councillor Stuart Davies, commentator Mr. Jake Smith, commentator Lindsay Douglas. What a great parade. Councillor Davies, it's great to have you back here again.
Oh, Tim, thank you so much. It's just wonderful to be here. One of the highlights of my show every year is spending time with you guys up here and assisting with the announcing of the Grand Parade. It's just a fabulous spectacle of Australia's livestock.
Well, elected to council in 2017, Mr. Robert Zammit is Domestic Animals Committee Chair. First time up here. Rob, thanks for joining us.
Oh, how exciting is it to be here? I mean, this is 200 years in the making, and here we are, our last Grand Parade. I think everyone in the stands should be very excited about this. This is fantastic, and the quality of animals that we'll see coming out of this Grand Parade, you won't see anywhere in the world. Yeah, this might be the 8th biggest ticketed event in the world, but these are the best people and animals in the world.
Not that any of us are biased in any way, shape or form.
Oh gosh, no, not at all.
And Jake Smith, of course, we can see our tent peggers, our Australian stockmen. We can see our pickup riders making their way out into the arena of war as well, because each and every night until the end of the show we have the Wrangler Federation Challenge Rodeo.
Yes, that's right, Tim. We'll have round number 3 here tonight, starting at 6 p.m. And if you've been with us over the first 2 nights, we've seen 2 nights of wonderful professional rodeo entertainment. And we have our pickup riders, the famous Kelly brothers, Peter and David Kelly, out there.
Well, Lindsay Douglas, on the far side of the arena, in front of the Cumberland stand, we see the beautiful FJ Holden Ute, representing the horticulture section, a huge part of the show.
Yes, and we've just finished judging our dahlias today. There's such a lovely dramatic display of colour in the form of summer and autumn. They're judged in those categories, and there's a huge array of sizes, shapes and colours. Very competitive over in our floral and horticultural sections of the show. But our congratulations to the Hill family and Farah and the ACT, who took out first place for 6 vases of dahlias, and Graham Davis took out second place.
Well, of course, the Horticulture Pavilion, Stuart, is where we can buy the RAS Foundation bags. They are such a good organisation, and the RAS Foundation started by or with the vision of Councillor Mr. John Fairfax. It's a great organisation that gives away some huge amount of money each and every year.
That's right, Tim. It is a wonderful foundation. So if you're over in the Dome, you'll see the foundation stand. Please go and buy an ag bag. So you've got an ag bag there. They're $35, and every cent of that purchase will go towards grants and scholarships for rural communities and young people in rural and regional New South Wales to assist them with higher learning, etc. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. And of course, we've also this year got our bicentenary tea towels.
And because it's a little bit warm, it's an air-conditioned pavilion as well, so if you want to get out of the heat, go in there and you can see some beautiful displays, buy a foundation bag and a tea towel.
Absolutely, and that's where our district exhibits are this year, and rather than the usual competition that you see between the different exhibits, what you will find is we tell the story from 1822 right through up to this year.
Well, over here in front of the big screen, Rob, we have our dogs, part of our domestic. There's a whole domestic animal section that runs throughout the entire show.
Over 5,000 animals have been exhibiting the domestic animals.
How many?
Over 5,000 animals.
The logistics of that is unbelievable.
Yeah, thanks to the good people at RAS. The workers have done such a great job. They've supported us, they support the councillors and the committee in bringing this together. Of course, this is not the only function that the RAS has, but this is our biggest one. And so, very proud of how we can get, in our area, 5,000 animals in and out through the course of the events. And we've had everything from rabbits, do I have to say rabbits out in the country, gosh.
That's
rabbits,
right.
We've had cats, we've had guinea pigs being judged, even rats and mice. Birds all different types of birds, and of course our dogs. And you can see out there, these are English pointers, and although they can be used to flush game and quail and things, they are fantastic on the lounge at home.
Well, beautiful to see. I think some of them are enjoying their time in the Giants
Great
Stadium.
time, aren't they?
Lovely to see. Hey, if we look over, we've got our little hands on the land helpers in their traditional costumes, celebrating 200 years. It's the alpacas, and Jake Smith, these are a very interesting breed. 30 years they've been showing here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show.
Yeah, that's right, Tim. They were first shown here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show in 1992. Can you believe that they were first imported to Australia from South America in 1850? And they were at the featured exhibit at the Royal Exhibition in 1881. Now they're being led by our rural achievers, of course our agricultural leaders of tomorrow, and they are a soft pad, not a hard hoof animal, so they have a similar weight ratio on the land like a kangaroo, so they're very kind to undulating land.
Well, Stu, we have a beautiful line of dairy cattle coming out into the arena. Judging still to start commencing, but 6 main breeds, is that correct?
6 main breeds, Tim, yes. We've got the Ayrshire, the Brown Swiss, the Guernseys, the Holstein Friesians. They're the ones that you probably recognise most, ladies and gentlemen, the black and white cattle. The Illawarras, which are Australia's own dairy breed, and as the name would suggest, were derived and born down in the Illawarra region around the Shoalhaven. And of course the Jerseys as well.
Now, when does judging commence for these beautiful breeds?
Judging commences on Monday with what we call the dry and the heifer classes, and then Tuesday we have our milk classes, so for those that are producing milk. Do you know, Tim, just as a fun fact, we milk...
I'm about to know.
You're about to know, whether you like it or not. We milk all the cattle on the ground throughout the day, and we produce about 3,000 litres of milk just here at the show every day.
What do you just get rid of it, or what do you do with that?
No, so we sell it off. And
Oh, really?
Yes, goes towards making cheeses and yogurts and all those other dairy products that we all enjoy.
Now tell me, when you sell that off, does that money go to the producer, or does it go to the RAS?
No, it actually comes back to the RAS, and we put that back into part of our organisation. We are a charitable organisation and non-for-profit.
Correct. Hey, Lindsay Douglas, down here in front of us, there's a lovely old tractor, and there's 2 sheep, 2 merino sheep.
And for the boys and girls not from a farm, for milk and meat and cheese and of course wool that can be made into jumpers and socks and blankets, they like to stay close together in a flock, and that does make them nice and easy to move around from pasture to pasture. We've just had a crop of little lambs at our place, and I can tell you that baby lambs identify their mother by their bleat, so they pair up because they'll look very similar. But out there we have St Gregory's College. They took our reserve champion with their school ram and their school ewe, and I can see Adam Fortum down there and Zane and Weston both performed very well in the school handler competition.
Hey, Jake Smith, we've seen a massive few days of horse competition. Of course, we're getting to the big part for all of our open hats. Of course, the big day on Monday, Champion of Champions, right throughout the afternoon.
It'll be a wonderful afternoon on Monday, and of course we've already had the crowning of our Supreme Champion Australian Saddle Pony and our winner of the Suburban Lodge Show and Training Stables with their wonderful nomination, Coraline in Tuning. Our champion and reserve champion, Show Hunter Galloway. Our champion was Michelle Labarne's nomination, Royal Command of Septon, and our reserve champion, Lucinda O'Brien, with Tralee Park Casino Royale. We've also had our champion, reserve champion show, Hannah Galloway, already judged as well, and our champion, reserve champion show, Hunter Horse, over 15 heads. Our champion this year was Melissa Gillies' nomination with verdict by direction, and our reserve champion was Universal Stables, and Miss Kate Kairos' nomination in Fedra. In Tim Breverman, now show jumping, our best performed Section 1 show jumping horse, Gandu Equestrian.
Jamie winning.
Gandu Oaks Constellation.